Can you open a pension for your grandkids? Well, the short answer is yes, sort of. Now, you can't open it yourself, but once a parent or guardian sets it up, well, you can pay straight into it. And here's what I think makes it really special. The government will automatically add 20% on top of everything that you put in. So, what does that mean? Well, for every £80 that you contribute, your grandkid is going to get £100 in their pension pot. So my name's Sakasen, and I've got over 25 years experience of helping people plan for their retirement. Now, the pension that you'd set up for your grandchildren is typically called a Junior SIPP, and it works just like an adult pension. Your money goes in, gets invested, and it grows over time. But there is one important rule. Only a parent or a legal guardian can open it. Now, as a grandparent, you can't just walk into a pension provider and set one up yourself. What you can do is pay into it once it is open, and so can any aunties, uncle, godparents, basically anyone can once it is open. And the maximum you can put in across all contributors is £2,880 a year, and the government then adds 20% tax relief, which basically tops that up to £3,600. And your grandkid doesn't need to be earning anything at all. The tax relief applies regardless. Now, you might be thinking, well, £3,600 a year doesn't sound like much, but this is where time does the heavy lifting. You see, if you put in just £50 a month from the day your grandchild is born, well, that's £10,800 over 18 years. The government adds another £2,700 in tax relief, but with investment growth at a conservative 5% a year, by the time your grandchild reaches 57, well, that pot could be worth £146,000. And you can see that here, at £50 a month, the pot could reach £146,000, but max out the allowance at £240 a month, and it could hit a whopping £702,000. And that is the difference between a comfortable cushion and a pot that could already fund an entire retirement. And that is the power of starting early. You see, 50 years of compound growth means that your money earns money on top of its money. But before you commit to a pension, there is another option worth comparing. Before I get to that, most grandparents spend £200 to £300 a year on a birthday or Christmas presents, but put that into a Junior SIPP, which I know isn't exciting. Instead, well, it could be worth over £50,000 by the time they retire. And in my experience, the families who get the most from this aren't the ones putting in huge sums. They're the ones who start early and stay consistent. If you have already retired or in the middle of retirement, then this checklist is going to be really handy and useful to you. So you can go to our website, which is financialeducation.co.uk, and across the top you will see a menu bar called Retirement Checklist. If you click on that, you'll land on this page, the Retirement Checklist Guides, and you can scroll down here and you will see a checklist called Making the Most of Your Retirement, which you can print off as a PDF document. And within this checklist, it sets out all the different areas that you need to be thinking about if you are already retired or have just retired. More specifically, it breaks down each of those 10 areas into what it is that you need to do, why it's important for you to do it, and when you need to do it for. So basically, this acts as a very handy blueprint and a guide for you to follow to make sure that you remain completely in control in your retirement. So again, you can download that from our website. Now, some grandparents do ask me, whether a Junior ISA would be better, and it certainly is worth considering. Junior ISA lets you put in up to £9,000 a year, which is clearly more generous than the pension. But the big difference is access. You see, your grandchild can't just take the money at 18 and spend it on whatever they like. And if that is something you do want them to do, then maybe the ISA is the right option. But with a pension, it is locked away until at least age 57. Now, that sounds like a downside, but I think that is the actual point. Nobody can raid it, not even them. So if you want to help with university or a first car, then the ISA is probably going to be the best route. But if you want to give them a successful retirement really early on, they don't have to worry about that, then I would look to use the pension. Now, clearly the smart move is probably using a combination of the two if you can afford to do it. The other thing to think about is most grandparents don't really think about inheritance tax, but from April 2027, pensions are being brought into scope for the first time. And that means when you die, any pension pot you leave behind could be taxed at 40%. as part of your estate, reducing what your family actually does receive. But when you contribute to a grandchild's pension, now something useful happens. So that money leaves your estate. But if you make regular payments from your income and it doesn't affect your standard of living, well, those gifts can be completely free of inheritance tax straight away. Now, we've got another video on the channel that looks at giving gifts, and that explains this concept in a bit more detail. And it's, for me, one of the most overlooked bits of tax planning that I come across. And the other thing to know is that your grandchild takes control of that pension at age 18. So they can't withdraw the money. What they can do is they can change and manage the investments. So, a conversation about money when your grandchild is 16 is probably worth more than another £500 in the pot, because good habits at that age will compound just like the money does. And pension rules will change between now and when they retire. They always do. The access age might change, contribution limits might change, tax relief could look very different in 50 years' time. And that's a risk, but it's also true of every long-term financial decision that you make. So the one thing I would do is this. It's nice to have a conversation with your son or your daughter this week. If this is something you are interested in, ask them to open a Junior SIPP. You can use providers such as Vanguard, Hargreaves Lansdown or Interactive Investor. They tend to be some of the bigger ones in the UK. And then all you need to do is set up a standing order for whatever you can afford to pay in. So even £25 a month is going to be a brilliant start. Now, let me know in the comments below, are you already doing this, or is it something new? And for more details on this, check out our website, financialeducation.co.uk. And if you did find this helpful, please do like and subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question you'd like me to answer, drop it in the comments below. Finally, good luck and goodbye. If you are planning your retirement or have already retired, we've got a couple of checklists that I think you'll find really, really handy. So you can go to our website, financialeducation.co.uk, and on the top menu, you'll see a page called Retirement Checklist. So if you go to that, it'll take you to a page with 2 checklists, a pre-retirement and a post-retirement checklist. So these are 2 checklists that you can download as PDF documents. So the pre-retirement checklist called Are You Ready to Retire? And within this, it gives you a full breakdown and a blueprint to help you plan your retirement. So within there, it sets out all the different areas that you need to be thinking about if you are planning your retirement. And it also sets out what you need to do, why you need to do it, and what to look at and when to do it for. So basically, you can print this off and work your way through it. And hopefully by the time you retire, you'll be very well set. If you are already retired, you can do our post-retirement checklist called Making the Most of Retirement, which again, in a very similar kind of vein. You go through there, it sets out all the things that you need to be thinking about to make sure that you have a successful retirement. And again, it sets out what you need to do, why you need to do it, and when you need to do it for. So again, you can print off both documents and write on them as you work your way through retirement.